News Amuse, I'm Sohini and today we are discussing daily products. This is a classic handled rolling pin and everybody knows what it's used for. A rolling pin is used for flattening and rolling out any dough or crushing stuff like biscuits, candies or even your lovely shoulders.
Yeah?
I might add, I have seen some curious ones. You might be wondering by now, how do people make rolling pins? First, they get the lumber, preferably hardwood, and then those are shaped into battens, further formed into dowels for the main body and the handle. Those are the main parts of a rolling pin. Then a hole is drilled into all these parts so that they can be connected with a metal rod and reinforced to endure upper body strength and for the main body to roll off the handle independently. Now there are other kinds of rolling pins as well which are produced with variety of different pins. I know we talked about how rolling pins are made, however this is different because this is a whole piece of lumber that has been turned. Popularly used in Indian household, this one has no different parts and that is the first caveat that I will start with. Since it has no different parts, the main action for using the rolling pin is rolling and not dragging. And that means more effort. Also, handles represent a huge deal. Ideally, they are supposed to be 3 inches long so that the hands don't endure unnecessary pressure. I can check for this one. Okay. So this is 2.5 inches long and it doesn't help. In addition to that, if you see at the corner or the end of the handle, it's pretty sharp for usage. I've heard some similar complaints from the users.
इस बैलून में ये जो पोर्शन है ये छोटा है, बट ये बहुत लोग ऐसे चलाते हैं और मुझे ऐसे पकड़ना पड़ता है, तो मेरे लिए ये जगह पे ये पोर्शन चुभता है.
अच्छा,
ठीक है, तो मेरे लिए थोड़ा सा स्पेस चाहिए.
Now let's talk about the main body of the handle. It is ideally supposed to be 8 to 9 inches long to minimize the number of revolution used to roll out a dough. We can check for this one. So this is 4.5 inches long. This is less than ideal. I believe the reason the main rod is too short is because they have used the manufacturing technique of wood turning so that the handles don't break off easily. So philosophically, if you think about it, it means that the wrong kind of manufacturing of any product can also adversely affect the user experience. But the most important thing I wanted to talk about was weight of the entire rolling pin. Of course, center of gravity must be maintained, but also studies have shown that heavy kitchen tools like rolling pin reduce the effort of users significantly. And this one is quite light in that aspect as well. I think this is a very unpleasant tool to work with. Also, Kindfriend theorized that the larger the diameter of rolling pin, the less the effort it's taken to use it. That is why the industrial standard is supposed to be 1.5 to 2.5 inches long, and I already calculated its diameter and it nears up to 1.9 inches long, and I think कि ये rolling pin उस aspect से तो सही ही है. Let's talk about hygiene. Unlike other kitchen tool, balloons are not supposed to be immersed in water or kept in the wash basin for long for it to get clean because the wood can get damaged. And that is a huge inconvenience for people. And do not even get me started about safety. It seldom occurs to the buyer that the producer is supposed to give you a stand with the rolling pin so that it doesn't roll off. Know your rights, people. Let's talk about neutral position of hands because most of their injuries are caused by poor ergonomics. This is called the neutral position of hands. This is called wrist flexion. It is not supposed to go beyond 54 degrees. This is called wrist extension and it is not supposed to go beyond 60 degrees. This is called ulnar deviation. It is not supposed to go beyond 30 degrees. And this is called radial deviation and it is not supposed to go beyond 20 degrees. Not following these instructions before designing something that requires the use of a hand can cause the user a number of issues like intersection syndrome, कार्पल टनल सिंड्रोम और टेंडनाइटिस एंड मेनी मोर टू कम। तो ये हमारे एग्जिस्टिंग रोलिंग पिन के डायमेंशन है। मैं सबसे पहले इसका मैन्युफैक्चरिंग प्रोसेस ही चेंज कर दूंगी ताकि इसका फॉर्म से हमें ज़्यादा एडवांटेज मिल पाए। तो बेसिकली जो इंडस्ट्रियल रोलिंग पिन होते हैं उस जैसे ये होगा सॉफ्टन्ड एज से हैंडल और ये भी एज से राउंडेड होगा। और सारे स्टैंडर्ड्स फॉलो करने के लिए हमें इसको 3 इंच मिनिमम देना पड़ेगा और 8 से 9 इंच का देना पड़ेगा इसका मेन रॉड। उसके बाद मैं सोच रही हूँ कि मैं इसके साथ एक स्टैंड प्रोवाइड करूँ, एक छोटा सा एक जो इसको रोक पाए अगर हम यूज नहीं कर रहे हैं बेलन को उस टाइम पे, तो उसके लिए काम आए। उसके बाद मैं सोची कि मैं इसका मटेरियल चेंज करूँ वुड से फूड ग्रेड सिलिकॉन। और मटेरियल चेंज करने के साथ क्या होगा कि हम इसकी हाइजीन के ऊपर भी फोकस कर सकते हैं, जब हम खाना बना रहे हैं उस पे भी, और जब इसको वॉश करना होगा बेलन को उस टाइम में। जब मैं इन सब चैलेंजेस पे फोकस करी थी, एक चीज मेरे लिए बहुत ही साफ हो गई कि जो मेजर इश्यूज है ये एवरेज रोलिंग पिन जो इंडियन हाउस होल्ड यूज करता है, वो सारे मेजर इश्यूज सॉल्व हो सकते हैं एक इंडस्ट्रियल रोलिंग पिन से, जो कि कुछ 1400 से 1200 की रेंज में आता है। ये इसलिए है क्योंकि उसमें बुशिंग टेक्निक का यूज किया है, जो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग टेक्निक मैंने सबसे पहले आपको बताई थी कि यूजुअली वेस्ट साइड में लोग यूज करते हैं। नाउ दिस वाज अ थ्योरी आई केम अप विद व्हिच वाज काइंड ऑफ प्रूव्ड बाय अ लॉन्ग टाइम patisserie chef who also said that his go to rolling pin was the industrial one.
ओके, तो मतलब ऑन अ जनरल मतलब डेली बेसिस आप जो इंडस्ट्रियल टाइप वाला बेरिंग वाला होता है वो यूज करते हैं बेलन, या फिर नॉर्मल
वही यूज करते हैं,
वही वाला
इंडस्ट्रियल वाला।
आप रेकमेंड करते हैं कि नॉर्मल अगर घर में कोई यूज कर रहा है तो वही बेरिंग वाली रोलिंग पिन ही यूज करे?
नॉट येट, ऐसा नहीं है। डोमेस्टिक लेवल में छोटा इतना अच्छा आता नहीं है।
So you are telling me that women have to fight patriarchy and bad designs all at the same time? So all I'm saying is, looking at the Indian market of rolling pins, I think producers have a huge chance of improving and upgrading the classical rolling pin from traditional design to more practical designs that are more ergonomic. And I have not yet touched even the topic of inclusivity. How does a rolling pin look like for people who have less than 2 hands, less than 10 fingers, or people without the thumbs, or even people with varied heights, because then there is upper body strength involved. For my designer friends, this is not a food for thought, but actually a cry for help, because you see, there are a lot of people using Balan in India, and there is not a good design yet that I've seen that is used commonly by the people, and that can be a huge opportunity for you to improve. As for the consumer, आप 4 चीजें रख सकते हैं दिमाग में रोलिंग पिन लेने से पहले: उसका मटेरियल, हाइजीन, सेफ्टी एंड फॉर्म। See you next time with happier hands. अरे तेरे को पता है कुछ रोलिंग पिन ग्लास के बनते ताकि हम उसमें आइस डाल के उसे रोल कर सके और डो ठंडा हो जाए।